What's up, nail geeks? I am back with Polish Pickup November 2020 to show you guys, and we have the theme red carpet. Really nice polishes. I'm so digging these. We have lots of glitters, as you can see behind me, lots of glitz and glam. I think this month the makers really brought their game, and I know I'm saying that on each of the videos for Polish Pickup, but I'm digging all the glitzy and glam that I'm seeing this month. So I have 32 items to show you guys. It's slowly growing in size, but you guys obviously enjoy these videos from your feedback and all that good stuff. And as you can see behind me, I am switching things up. I'm trying to change the channel a little bit, some growing pains here and there. I've been talking about my new setup. I have so many new things that I'm trying to experiment with and ways to grow this channel and all that good stuff. So thank you for bearing with me while I figure all of this stuff out. But this month is awesome. So without further ado, let's dive right in. First up is Alchemy Lacquers Plum Perfect. This is described as a plum jelly with golden lime to green to turquoise to blue shimmery multi-chrome finish, inspired by Zendaya at the 2019 Emmys. Price is $11.50 and there is a cap to be announced on it. So this has a jelly-like formula to it, and it builds up very quickly to opacity. Now I'm going to suggest going in for 3 normal to light coats on it, as I think that plumps it out best, and I think it really flatters that shimmer and that base color. So in bright lights, you're going to see what you see on the video, this limey type of goldish sort of cast against that plum base. And if you wear it at 3 coats, that base color definitely deepens out. Now, I think some may be able to get away with 2 coats on this, but again, I think that 3rd coat really helps to vampen out that base color. And at angles, there is so much shift to it. Obviously, in indoor lighting, that goldish type of cast, but at angles, there's a very luminous type of blue glow with it. Now, this does dry down on the flat side, so I'm going to suggest a really good glossy top coat to seal this one up, and you'll get almost that foiled-like finish with it. Lots and lots of shift. And next is Aurora. She brings us DNA sequins. This is described as a black jelly base with a rainbow of geometric pigments inspired by all the glorious sequins that adorn the red carpet dresses and how they sparkle under those photo flashes. Price on this one will be $12, and there's a cap of 100 US and 10 UK. So I am so stoked for these types of finishes. Honestly, this is what I'm talking about when I'm constantly saying that I wish glitters would make a comeback in terms of finishes. This is what I would classify as a full coverage micro glitter. There's so much to be seen here, and I think at 2 coats, it's perfect. It plumped out very nicely, and you can see here that there is so much glitter. It's so stinking sparkly in person. Now this does dry down quite thirsty and very flat, so I'm going to suggest some type of glitter smoothing top coat, which is what I use on my swatches, and you'll see it here in just a moment. These types of micro glitters are really interesting. They give a really obvious, like a definitive sort of rainbow sparkle, as opposed to like a lot of the micro glitters that at least I'm used to. So lots and lots of like little colorful sparkles on this one. It kind of reminds me of teeny tiny lights. Now here on the full hand shot, you can see I have topped off with a glitter smoothing top coat. This one's Glisten and Glows, and it just sealed everything up and maximized that sparkle. And next is Baroness X. She brings us Starlet. This is described as a magnetic polish that can be worn as a regular polish as well. It has a berry, somewhat leaning purpley red base with silver magnetic pigment, hollow pigment, and there are gold microflake shimmer when magnetized. So this is inspired by Isabelle Gallart's custom etro dress from the 2019 Cannes Film Festival. The price on this one will be $12.75, and there is no cap on it. So I really want to stress that this looks stunning when it's not magnetized, and I think it's very versatile in that fact. It has a wonderful, very much heavily flirting with being a one-coater type of formula. It's very smooth and very dense. So I decided to wear that first coat unmagnetized so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's just such a flattering, purpley, somewhat red undertoned type of color. Lots of sparkle in terms of holographic goodness. Now here I'm going in with the magnet, and you can see that it easily gives off this lovely silvery type of line. It just glows in person. This is another one of those types of polishes that I'm glad I do videos for, because it's just one that you want to see in motion, especially with that magnetic effect. The silvery type of magnetic pigment gives this glowy type of appearance. It's definitely got a silvery effect. Now, Baroness X also brings us acetone antidote in the scent Walk the Rainbow. This is basically scented like Skittles. It's delightful. I usually put 2 to 3 drops in my dapping dish when I'm cleaning up and swatching, or of course, you guys know the drill. I also use it for my acetone pump bottle, and it's 8 ounces, and I use the entire bottle to it. Lovely candy scent. And next is by Danny Viana. She brings us Satisfied. This is described as a bright yellow with matte black glitters. This is inspired by the dress worn by Renee Elise Goldsberry in the 2016 Tony Awards. And the price on this one is $11.50, and there's a cap of 420 US and 30 UK. So the formula on this is straight up creamy goodness. I really want to classify this one as a 1-coater polish. I personally like to go in very, very thin on 1-coaters and do 2 thin coats. I think it plumps it up the best, and it gives off that gorgeous gel-like appearance. This has just a touch of a squish factor to it. It's glorious in terms of formula, very easy to apply, very forgiving, and strongly self-leveling. The black glitters are of the smaller variety, so you'll get that tiny scattered-like effect. And again, I'm going to suggest a good glossy top coat to finish this one off. And next is Cameo Colors Lacquers. She brings us Purple Rain. This is a regal purple jelly full of hollow sparkle, indigo to purple to red shifting shimmer, gold flecks, gold metallic micro flakes, and silver hollow micro flakes. This is inspired by the purple gown that Lupita Nyong'o wore to the Black Panther premiere. Price is $11, and there's a cap of 95 US and 5 UK. So I'm always saying I'm a purple picky polish person, and this one is so stunning in person. It's one of those purples that is super flattering. I think it's going to be gorgeous on just about any skin tone. It's got this slightly luminous effect to it with all of those sparkles in it, and the shimmer just kind of gives it this little bit of a depth appearance as you build it up. This has a somewhat crelly-like formula, though it behaves almost like a somewhat dense cream. Really easy to apply. Again, very forgiving formula, and I'm going to suggest 2 coats on it. Now, this does dry down on the flat side, so again, I'm going to suggest a good glossy top coat, which is what you're seeing on my full hand shot. And Crystal Knockout brings us Gala Gaga. This is a magenta to light pink thermal with black micro glitters and gold flakes. This is inspired by Lady Gaga at the 2019 Met Gala. Price is $11, and there is no cap on it. So this one has a straight up juicy type of jelly-like formula to it, and it does dry down quite a bit flat, which is, in my opinion, characteristic of thermal pigments. And I'm going to suggest 2 coats on this one to bring it up to opacity. Honestly, I feel like the warm state, which is the very light pink, and you'll see that in a moment on my ice water shot, I think it is somewhat on that softer side where you might see a touch of your free edge if you have a prominent one like myself. But I think it just goes so well with the whole thing. So this is one of those polishes that when you are applying it, it's going to be transitioning in terms of color. So a lot of times that can kind of confuse me a little bit when I'm applying it, because, you know, I'm like, did I already go over that area, whatnot? So just for the record, I think 2 coats is just fine. Now, again, I'm wearing a really good glossy top coat. If you guys are curious, I know someone's going to ask. I'm using Glistening Glow in this post, and it smoothed everything out and gave me that nice glossy sheen. And you can see here, it's a really lovely, I want to say almost nude to very deep magenta pink. And Cupcake Polish brings us She's a Lady. This is a periwinkle blue polish filled with iridescent Aurora shimmer that shifts from red to gold to green. This is inspired by the periwinkle dress Lady Gaga wore to the Golden Globes for her A Star Is Born win for their Best Original Song. Price is $13, and there is no cap on it. So this has a jelly-like formula, but I do want to kind of classify it as a crelly in that it builds up pretty quick to opacity, and it has this gorgeous squishy plumping factor to it. I think most are going to be just fine between 2 and 3 coats. I personally took it pretty thin on the first coat, and then I went in what I consider normal for myself on the second coat, and you can see here I've got really nice coverage with it. It's pretty forgiving in terms of self-leveling, but I'm going to suggest going in pretty light on those brush strokes strokes just to prevent any streaking. And this one also dries down kind of flat. So again, I'd suggest a good glossy top coat with it and lots of luminous shimmer. Now, Cupcake Polish is also bringing us Vnl Blur. This is a semi-sheer nude colored base that can be used with or without a traditional base coat, and it basically helps you use less of your favorite polishes. So it basically blurs the line between your free edge and your nail bed, just for a smooth transition between using it with sheer and jelly polishes. Now, you only need one coat for use. Price on this one's going to be $8.50, and there is no cap. So I consider myself having a pretty prominent free edge. I'm always talking about it in my videos. This has a super satisfying creamy-like formula to it. Now, in my full honest opinion, this really reminds me of the OPI Nail Envy tints. In the past, I have used that pretty much exclusively to cover my visible nail line, but I think this behaves so much better in terms of formula. It just reminds me of it, but again, the formula is so much better, really creamy type of application, and it absolutely blurs that free edge, and it helps you absolutely use less of your jelly type of polishes, or if they're shears, and it absolutely covers up that smile line pretty well. So given the price of it and given how much I like the formula on this one, if you have been using those OPI nail tints, if you're like me, I would prefer this one over it, not just because the formula is awesome and it obviously works, but also the price point is so much better than the OPI Nail Envy tints. So honestly, I'm sold on it. I really like it. And I think if you have a prominent free edge like me, I definitely suggest trying it out. I think it's really wonderful. And as you can see here with just that one coat of She's a Lady, it absolutely blurred out that smile line. And next we have Cuticula, Look What You Made Me Do. This is a soft lilac base with a rainbow of shifting iridescent flakes, shifting ultra chrome flakes, and small silver platinum flakes. This is inspired by Taylor Swift's dress. Price is $12.50, and there is no cap on it. So this is what I would consider a straight up Crelly-like feel on the formula. It is packed full of those super gorgeous iridescent flakes. Now I'm going to suggest going in light on your coats and go in for 3 coats. It does build up to opacity at 2 coats, but if you go in light, and what you'll see here on the video, light at 3 coats, it just maximizes that flaky goodness. It's so pretty, and I think it really deepens out that lavender base, what I'd consider a true type of lavender. Now this one does dry down quite a bit on the flat side, so again, I'm going to suggest a good glossy top coat to seal it up, and this is just so stinking pretty with those iridescent flakes and then those little almost like shredded type of black flakes in the background. Very, very nice. And there's also my favorite, those silver platinum flakes that give just a hint of a reflective sparkle. So what I would definitely consider one of those just super loaded up types of Crellys. Now, Cuticula is also bringing us Cloud Cover, which is a matte top coat in the scent Sugar Coated. This basically is a 5 free matte top coat. I have used it quite a bit on my videos. It's definitely one of my favorite type of matte top coats because it gives off quite a bit of a strong, harsh matte effect. So you definitely get that chalkboard nails type of finish to it. It's got a really nice, smooth, easy to use formula. And you can see here with it over Look What You Made Me Do. It definitely gives off that gorgeous harsh appearance. And I think it really looked good with her polish pickup shade as well. And Dom Nail Polish brings us Jungle Dress. This is a neon green holographic polish packed with metallic and holographic glitters, hints of green, blue, black, and gold glitters, inspired by J-Lo's green Versace dress from the 42nd Grammy Awards in 2000. Price is $12.50, and there is a cap of $95 US and $5 UK. So I'd like to give a super warm welcome to Dom Nail Polish. You guys know I recently started swatching for her, and I'm super excited that she's here. She definitely nailed it with this theme, and I think she's going to do pretty well, especially with that low cap on this polish. So this is a really perfect inspiration for that jungle dress. Really nice kind of neon-ish type of green. It's really right there on the cusp because I think it's going to play up against your lighting. So if you are in bright lights, it's going to definitely take on this bit of a neon type of tone to that green. But in indoor or dull type of lighting, I think you'll see it more like what you see on my full hand shot here, just slightly more of a indoor type of neon effect. And Esmalte Sekeli brings us fall colors. This is a holographic base with iridescent flakes and multi-chrome flakes. This is inspired by Kristen Bell's 2016 Emmy Awards dress. Price is $12.50 and there is a cap of 500 US and 20 UK. So this has a jelly-like formula, in my opinion. It builds up to opacity very quickly. There is a ton of a warm type of shift with this in the actual pigment itself and in the flaky type of shift too. So lots and lots of warmth to this one. It easily shifts over between copper and this goldish-like effect, and the flakes kind of match up with that too. Now I'm going to suggest between 2 and 3 coats. This is really going to depend on how you polish, and go in with a glossy top coat to finish it off, just to really exploit the color roll of all the shifting goodness happening here. And next is Fair Maiden Polish, Wildest Dreams. This is a deep teal based multi-chrome that shifts to emerald green and magenta. This is inspired by Taylor Swift's Grammy look. And the price on this one will be $11 and there is no cap on it. So the formula for this one is really creamy, very smooth on brush strokes. It is very on the self-leveling side. It's really lovely. I really enjoyed applying with this one, very satisfying. And when you build it up, it's just this lush type of teal. It's really, really flattering, and there's a bit of that nice emerald type of shift at angles. I really liked this one. Again, I know I am absolutely biased on the color blue and all of that color family, but I just think that this is so flattering. I think it's going to look good on just about any skin tone. Now, for opacity on it, I'm going to suggest going in very thin on your coats and build it up at 3 coats. And I think it plumped it out beautifully and gives off this really strong cream-like feel with it. And it plumps it out very nicely. So I think most can probably get away with 2 coats, but I think just 3 thinner coats on this one's really going to make it pop the best. Finish off with a glossy top coat and you'll get what you see on that full hand shot. Really luminous, gorgeous type of teal. And Femme Fatale brings us dripping in gold. This is a sheer flaky polish filled with golden glitters, red to green iridescent glitters, pink to gold shifting shimmer, and orange to gold crystal flakes. This is inspired by Emily Blunt's molten gold dress. Price is $14 and there is no cap on it. So this is what I would consider a true type of gold. It's very much one of that jewelry metal type of gold, if that makes sense. But it is absolutely loaded with that pinky type of shimmer in here, and it gives off this almost duochrome-like effect. It's very strong in person and very, very flattering. Now for opacity, I'm going to suggest between 2 and 3 coats, depending on how you polish. I personally found that 3 lighter coats on this one plumped it out the best, and I think it just allowed so much more sparkles on my nails. Now this one does dry down quite a bit on the flat side, so I'm going to suggest a strong glossy top coat to finish it off, and you'll see so much sparkles with this one. It's really lovely, and I'm absolutely digging that gold to pink type of shift depending on your lighting. And next we got Girly Bits. She brings us Queen of the Dark. This is a densely packed flaky with fuchsia to chartreuse flakes that also flash with hints of lime and blue at extreme angles, finished off with red to gold shifting shimmer and just a hint of tiny hollow flakes. This is inspired by Nayakim Gatwech's dress at the 70th Primetime Emmy Awards in 2018. P.S. That was a stunning gown and she looked epic. Price is $13 and there is a cap of 250 bottles. So speaking of that dress, I don't know if all of you are in the polish pickup group, but I definitely suggest joining there so you can see the inspiration for this polish. This is literally that polish if you could liquefy it and turn it into a polish. It is such a spot on match for it. Now this is basically what I would consider a flaky balm. It builds up due to the flakes. So I'm going to suggest going in at 3 coats. Go in just a touch light on it. It definitely packs those flakes upon each other. It gives you this strong metallic feel. Lots and lots of shift. I really love how this one looks. So you'll get in bright lights this gorgeous fuchsia type of appearance, that what you see in the middle of my nail here. And it's an easy shift over to these goldish type of shifts with just a touch of this chartreuse-like lean to it. Very nice. Now I am going to suggest going in with a glossy top coat on this one too, just to seal it all up and really help that color roll shift like crazy. And Glisten and Glow brings us Pink in the City. This is a bright pink jelly polish filled with color shifting iridescent flakes that shift between dark blue and purple, inspired by Sarah Jessica Parker's hot pink 80s inspired gown worn at the New York City Ballet Fall Fashion Gala in 2019. Price on this one's $12.50 and there is no cap. So this is another one that is just something else. It is very vibrant in person, but what really just is so eye-catching are those flakes. So they take on this almost indigo, kind of purpley blue-like effect that you're seeing on the video. And they spread very nicely across the nails. And in person, this just has, the best way I can describe it is it's almost like this mermaidy scale type of effect. It's really iridescent in person, in that purplish bluish type of cast, and really pops against that base color. Definitely one that, again, I think is going to really be represented better in a video because it's just so much of that iridescent effect. Now this has a curly-like feel to it on application. I'm going to suggest going in for 3 light coats on this one. It builds up to opacity very easily, but I think 3 thin coats with it made it pop so well with those flakes. And of course, going in with the glossy top coat from Glisten and Glow, you can see just how just iridescent this is. That's the best way I can describe it. Now, Glisten and Glow also brings us a cuticle remover and oil duo this month. These are in the scent Cranberry Pear, which is a custom blend of sparkling cranberry, sweet pear nectar, and luscious black currant. This will be $12 for the duo, and there is no cap on it. So, you guys are seeing what my nails look like after a week of being in the lab. You can see I've got some breaks. Things are looking a little rough at this point. They definitely need some help. So this is what basically a Friday evening looks like for me. Things are a little bit of a hot mess, and I have to do some maintenance. So you'll see in this part of the video what just a little bit of that maintenance does and how much it helps. So this is scented in the scent, that Cranberry Pear. It is very pleasant. I'm definitely getting a very even mix of the cranberry and pear scents. It's on the softer side, so if you are sensitive to scents, it is not overwhelming at all. So what I like to do is use a cuticle remover. Glisten and Glow's is very gentle. I personally have very harsh skin around my nails, and even though this is very gentle, it still works very well for me. So you slather it on, wait 60 seconds, and I like to go in with a glass orange stick. If your skin is a little more sensitive than me, you can definitely use a wooden one. And you just go in, gently rub up against your cuticle line, and it removes any excess skin, any hangnails, things like that. And I just like to basically make that really defined, like U-like shape, if you will. And it is on the creamier side, and again, it's just super gentle, especially compared to some of the cuticle removers that I've used, say from Sally's. So if you have sensitive skin, or even if you have harsher skin like myself, I think it's very much going to work for just about any type of skin type. And finally, I go in and I have filed. You want to wash off with soap and water really well to remove all of that remover. And things are still a little bit on the messy side. I had to do a little bit of repairing on my middle finger. It'll grow out, but thankfully at this point I was done with polish pickup for swatching, so I don't think you guys are going to see it a whole lot. But I digress. So this is a wonderful duo, and I think it's perfect for maintenance. And Indie by Patti Lopez brings us Fashion Dress. This is a pale blue jelly with a mix of glitters and flakes, inspired by Dua Lipa's dress. Price is $12, and there is a cap of 200 US and 20 UK. So this has a straight up jelly-like formula. I think this can definitely double as a topper if you wanted to. I think it would look really cool over dark colors, but it is intended to be worn by itself. So for full coverage, I'm going to suggest between 2 and 3 coats, with the caveat that this is a very soft polish in my opinion. So I think even at 2 or 3 coats, if you have a prominent free edge, I think your smile line is definitely going to show. The flakes in this one are really lovely. They have this bit of a reflective-like appearance with them. So it's almost like that mylar foil type of appearance when they are in motion, and the shimmer is very strong here too. Now I thought that since this was a softer type of polish, that 2 coats was just perfect for it, and I thought it looked really nice on its own. And of course, finishing off with a glossy top coat just helps to exploit the shimmer and that foily flake appearance. Lemming Lacquer brings us a lively dress. This is a cool toned red-violet base with soft holographic elements, gold holographic micro sparks, and multichrome magnetic flakes, shifting pink to copper to gold. This is inspired by Blake Lively's Met Gala 2018 dress, one of my favorite dresses I've seen at the Met Gala. Personally, if you ask me. Price on this one is $13, and there is a cap of 100 US and 10 UK. So this is another one that looks absolutely stunning when it is not magnetized, and you can see it there on that first coat. And so that you guys can see both non-magnetized and magnetized, I'm going in and I'm just going to magnetize that second coat. I'm going to classify this one as a 1-coater polish. It is very lovely, lots of holographic elements to it. Now when you magnetize it, it gives this strong golden type of, almost burgundy-ish type of shift to the magnetic pigments, and the background takes on that lovely burgundy-ish type of base color. Again, lots of sparkles, and when you finish off with a glossy top coat on this one, absolutely stunning. So again, I'm going to suggest make sure that you magnetize your glossy top coat too, and you'll seal those pigments in. Now, Matterhorn brings us beard and hair oil in the scent Infinity. This will be 11 with no cap on it. So the oil here is quite large. This is the first time I'm using Matterhorn oil. I was really impressed with the size of this, and those little gold flakes in here are so cute. You get a ton of product in this bottle. Like, seriously, that's a lot of oil, and it's awesome. So definitely you can use it in your hair. You can use it as a beard oil. I personally am going to use it as a cuticle oil just for the sake of the video. I thought it sunk in very well to my nails. Really lovely type of lighter oil formula. And I'm really digging that dropper. It's awesome. This is one of more of a novel way that I've seen oil come in. Of course, this is for all over, so that could definitely be it. But I personally liked it because as a cuticle oil, it allowed me to do what I usually do and just slather that sucker all over. So really nice light formula. The scent is very unisex. It is very pleasant, and it is on the softer side. So I could definitely see that if this is used as a beard oil, it's not gonna like overwhelm your nostrils. Really lovely. And MLF Lacquer brings us Olivia. This is a medium violet curly with a stunning red to orange to green to yellow Aurora shimmer. This is inspired by Olivia Munn's dress at the 2019 Emmys. Price is 11, and there is a cap of 190 US and 10 UK. So this has a curly-like formula to it. I think it leans just a touch more on the jelly side. Now for opacity, I'm going to suggest 3 coats on it. I think opacity can be reached at 2 coats, but you'll see the difference between that second and third coat. I think it helps to deepen out that base color and bring out that shimmer like crazy. So lots of glow. It gives off this almost reddish-like appearance in the shimmer in bright lights, and at angles it easily shifts over to this lovely type of green. It's really popping against that base color. So those of you who really appreciate that purple type of polish with this reddish, copperish type of shimmer effect to it, this is definitely one of those. It has a lovely formula. Now on the third coat here, you can see it plumped out very nicely, gives that gel-like appearance that I'm always going for, and it does dry down on the flat side. So you're going to want to use a good glossy top coat, and you'll get that lovely appearance here on the full hand shot. Nice plump effect with that strong shimmer-like appearance too. And Night Owl Lacquer brings us Write Your Own Part. This is a black filled with holographic micro flakes and aqua green crystal flakes. This is inspired by an ensemble worn by Mindy Kaling. I love her. That is beautiful perfection in its simplicity. Price on this one will be $13 and there is no cap on it. So this has a very crelly-like formula to it. It is a bit more behaving like a cream, if I'm honest. It is very smooth on the brush strokes, very forgiving. It stays where you put it, and it builds up very quickly to opacity. So that first coat was basically like my foundation coat, and then the second coat I'm going in what I consider normal for myself, and you can see how much it definitely built up to opacity. Very lovely, and lots and lots of flakes in this one. Very nice. Now this also dries down quite a bit on the flat side, so I'm going to suggest a good glossy top coat for it. Now for full coverage, I'm going to suggest between 2 and 3 coats. It's really going to depend on your nail length and how you polish, but I think 2 coats is perfectly fine, especially with how I went in with it. And again, seal it off with a glossy top coat. And polish brings us Vespertine. This is a soft prismatic silver with dense holographic flakes and glowing pink to copper to green micro flake and shimmer. This is inspired by Bjork's infamous swan dress. Price is $13 and there is no cap on it. So this has, again, what I would consider a crelly-like formula. There's quite a bit of squish factor to it, which I really like because it helps to build it up and like plump it out when you're going to wear it. And a really nice shimmery, like strong appearance. Definitely gives you that reddish, copperish type of pinky sort of glow. And at angles, this easily shifts over to green. Very lovely, and there's tons and tons of flakes with this one too. Now for full coverage, I'm going to suggest again between 2 and 3 coats. This one's really going to depend on how you polish once again, and also the depth of your free edge, how prominent it is. It does dry down on the flat side, so I'm going to suggest a good glossy top coat to finish it off, and just gorgeous shimmery goodness. And Penelope Luch brings us the Queen. This is a pink coral with iridescent flakes, Aurora pigment, UCC flakes, and a little glitter. This is inspired by Helen Mirren's 2019 Oscar dress. Price is $13 and there is no cap on it. So this is what I would consider another flaky type of balm. Really strong appearance in terms of flaky payoff, and it has a jelly-like feel on application with a strong squish factor. Now for opacity, I'm going to suggest between 2 and 3 coats. Again, this one's going to depend on how you polish, but personally, I think 2 coats popped very well, and it plumped out very, very nicely. Now, this does have that tinted base, so not super flaky balm per se, but there are a ton of them in here. I think that this one builds up in terms of the base color and the flakes here. So at angles, this has a lovely orangey type of shift to it. It's very strong, just really strong pink to orange shift. And Poetry Cowgirl brings us Gorgeous Little Moment. This is a pale spring green packed with aqua to green to gold shifting shimmer and green to teal Aurora pigment, inspired by Jonathan Van Ness at the 2019 Creative Arts Emmys. Price is $13 and there is no cap. This has a crelly-like formula. It's very creamy on application, easy to build up, and the shimmer here gives off this really lovely type of almost iridescent-like sparkle. It kind of reminds me almost of a foil polish. However, the shimmer particles are a touch on the smaller side to be compared to a foil, but it definitely has that sparkly-like effect. Now I took this one up to 2 coats. I thought it was just perfect. If you have slightly longer nails, you might need that 3rd coat, but I honestly feel like 2 normal coats on this one flatters it the best, and a glossy top coat helps that shimmer to pop like crazy. Very nice. Now in my full hand shot, you can see my smile line, so please note in person, I didn't really see it a whole lot outside of the bright lights. And Pretty Beautiful Unlimited brings us Fiber Optic Stunner. This is a lightly tinted ultramarine holographic base with green to teal to blue to purple, multi-chrome pigment, and a mix of 4 crystal chameleon flakes. This is inspired by a fiber optic dress worn by Claire Danes. Price is $12.50 and there's a cap of $150 US and $10 UK. So this has a jelly-like formula to it, but it's got quite a bit of squish and it builds up very quickly to opacity, as there is a ton of pigment-like things going on with this one. So lots of sparkle, and as you build it up, there is this muted type of dusky backdrop, but the shimmer itself shifts over between this almost green-like appearance to a nice dark purple. It's on the subtle side, and I think what really takes over everything else are the holographic sparks and those flakes. It plumps out very nice at 2 coats, and again finish off with a glossy top coat and you're good to go. And Pretty Beautiful Unlimited also brings us another wax sampler in the theme, and the award goes to, this is a 15-cent sampler up to 8 ounces of wax, and is inspired by the food and drinks and florals you might find at one of the red carpet events. Price on this is $8 and there's a cap of $180 US and $20 UK. So you can see here lots of really adorable shapes, and this month's scents are again awesome. In your little baggie, you will get this scent card, and it's got all of the descriptions for all 15 scents in your sampler. And also included is a themed charm. The one that I got this month is this adorable little stiletto heel. It's so stinking cute. It's a little bit on the heavier side too. So definitely got a metallic-like material to it. And you can see tons and tons of scents. They're so awesome. I was super stoked for this red velvet one. It is delightful and I'm so excited for it. So we have lots of like drink type of scents, floral type scents, a really nice mixture happening with this one. And this is one of those over the months, I've definitely seen these sell out really fast. So if you're wanting one, I would definitely suggest getting in there when the shop opens. And Quixotic Polish brings us I'm Here. This is a dusty periwinkle base packed with a fine pink to purple to green shifting iridescent shimmer, inspired by Cynthia Erivo's red carpet dress. Price is $13 and there is no cap on it. So this has a very crelly-like formula. It's got a strong squishy-like factor to it. It builds up very quickly to opacity. I almost want to consider this shimmer type almost like a foiled appearance. It's very, very strong, and as you can see there on that first coat, builds up very easily to opacity. Now, for full coverage, I'm going to suggest 2 coats on it. Again, it plumps out very nicely. I'm going to suggest going in quite soft on those brush strokes. It is forgiving, but you want to prevent any type of streaking in your final look. And such a lovely glowy appearance. Easily shifts between this indigo-like color to a pink and then a green at some angles. Definitely super shimmery. And Rogue Lacquer brings us Regal. This is a micro silver holographic flake base packed with gold, turquoise, and red metallic flakes with a bit of added hollow, inspired by the intricate detail of Blake Lively's Met Gala gown. Price is $12.50 and there is no cap on it. So this is again what I would consider a turbo glitter kind of flaky bomb. Very nice, very sparkly in person, and you get those little colorful elements from the flakes in the background. This is lovely and definitely another one that I would classify as a full coverage type of glitter flaky bomb. Lots going on with it, and it gives you this almost reflective-like appearance from the flakes, and of course you have those holographic effects in the background too. Now this one does dry down quite thirsty, quite flat, and you're really going to want to make those flakes pop. So I'm going to suggest going in with some type of glitter smoother just to really like ultra glossify it and get those sparkles to really pop. And Scofflaw Nail Varnish brings us Glamour Mint. This is a minty curly packed with glitters of holographic black and red and finished off with an aqua shimmer. And the price and cap are to be announced as of me recording this video. When wish listing opens, I'm assuming that the information should be on there, but in my experience, Scofflaw is typically very much capped. Now this has a super creamy, crelly-like formula, very typical from this brand, very easy to apply on your nails, smooth type of polishing action. And for opacity, I'm going to suggest 2 coats on it. This is very forgiving. Again, it behaves very strongly like a cream with a touch of a squish factor, and you'll get easily so much glitter payoff as you are applying. So here on that second coat, gorgeous plumping like effect, and this does dry down flat too. So again, I'm going to suggest a good glossy top coat to seal it off, and that base color is definitely a soft type of mint. I do feel like the video is representing it correctly. And Supernatural Lacquer brings us Don't Worry, She's Got Help. This is a black jelly filled with orange to green iridescent glitter and flakes, and purple to red to ultra chrome chameleon flakes. This is inspired by actors on the purple carpet that played a role in the iconic girl power moment in the Endgame. Price is $11.50 and there is no cap. So this has a straight up jelly-like finish to it. I am going in quite thin on that first coat. Just from my experience with the other nails, I found that doing the whole foundation type method where you just go in very thin on the first coat and then go in normally on your second coat definitely helps to reach it to full opacity. Now I think it did give this nice interesting soft type of coverage for a smoky black type of base color, but for full coverage and to really bring out that opacity for that black color, I'm going to suggest going in for 3 coats on it. Now this does dry down flat, as you can see between my coats, so once again I'm going to suggest a good glossy top coat for it. Really smooth action happening, and there is a ton of a pond-like effect from those flakes. Really nice colorful like action happening with it, and it plumped out very nicely. This is one of those types of jelly finishes that again have that nice juicy like formula to it and that appearance when you go in with the glossy top coat. You can see it on my full hand shot here. It's just got that really ultra glossy like appearance. And last but not least, we have Watcha. This is Blake Lively's dress, described as a golden holographic glitter base with bigger blue and turquoise glitters, inspired by the namesake. Price is $13 and there is a cap of 220 US and 10 UK. So again, this is one of my favorite finishes, as you guys can see from just my video, not even look at the other ones. This month was full of these glitter bombs, and I'm here for it. So this is very much easy to build up to opacity. I'm going to suggest 2 to 3 coats on it. I personally thought that 2 coats was absolutely perfect. It's so stinking sparkly in person, and those little blue and turquoise glitters kind of give a little bit more of a depth to it. And the golden effect from the rest of the glitters is what I would consider a true type of metal type of gold. It's a little bit more on the lighter side for a gold, but so gorgeous. Now I did top off with a glitter smoothing top coat and glossy top coat to seal this one up, as it is thirsty as a glitter bomb and super smooth sparkles. Now, wish listing should be open this week. I am recording this between a Friday and a Saturday, so I'm wanting to say by the time I get this video up, I think one more day. So I think Sunday, November 1st, wish listing will more than likely be up, and you can see all of these goodies and more on the website. So per usual, I'll link you guys below to that. And the shop will open up for actual ordering November 6th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and will run until November 9th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, I'll put the website below just in case this video doesn't come out in time for wish listing, but lots and lots of goodies this month. I'll also link you guys to the Facebook fan group if you haven't joined that yet. Voting typically goes on for the following month, so January, as December's theme has been chosen already. So I highly encourage you guys to get in there too. Lots of additional swatches and additional polishes and goodies that are going to be available this month. I personally love this month. I think it was awesome, and I was so stoked to see so much blingy type of polish, and it's awesome. So I personally am probably once again going to be picking up a lot of the indie pickup items. I just love all the scented goodies and all that stuff. So definitely in the comment section, let me know what you guys are going to get. Are you skipping out this month? Are you participating? I love y'all's comments on my polish pickup videos. You guys rock, and definitely want to see what you guys are doing. So today, as I'm recording this, is Halloween. So I just wanted to throw it out there. Happy Halloween, you guys. I hope you're safe this evening. I'm going to be binging candy and yeah, pretty much doing that. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching and bearing with me while I try to do things differently.